Yes, we are live. We are live.
I'm so glad it's the weekend. It is prep day. Shabbat is tomorrow. Shalom, shalom.
Shalom, family, peace and blessings, guys. Let us know if you can hear us, please. I remember the last time, some people couldn't hear us, so I believe we switched to mics. So please let us know if you can hear us, if you are in the chat. Welcome, welcome, guys. Make sure you like the video when you enter the chat. We got some juicy, crazy stuff that's happening. Big, big distractions.
Everybody's talking about it. Everybody's talking about how President Donald Trump and Elon had this, it seems like a random falling out because in January, you did this earlier. He did like the little alt right hand sign. He did it accidentally, whatever. But it was like paradise, right? It was like apartheid meets America paradise, you know. But right now, it's like there's trouble in paradise. Paradise isn't panning out the way that the White House thought it would or the way that Elon thought it would. And so it's like the war of worlds in America in the White House, which is absolutely insane. I did not expect this to happen, but I'm going to tell you what, if you dig into this the way we're about to dig into this in this video, hit the like button, share, and subscribe. But when you dig into this, and definitely pull up that Facebook caption from that lady because she broke it down. This time right now in history is detrimental to American citizens. Moving forward, America will change.
I don't even want to say American citizens. It's really about kingdom citizens because it's a big distraction that's happening right now. That's what it comes down to. Like everything that's been happening this 2025 year, you got to step back. As we always say, step back and look at the bigger picture. How is someone, this is what rubs me the wrong way. I don't agree with any of them. I just agree with the Most High's word. But how can someone work for the government and then step out the office and start talking bad about it? So it's just like I thought people had like NDAs, protecting certain things. So
yeah.
But that's beside the point. We're gonna get into it.
No, I'm glad you brought that.
It just stuff just don't make sense. They do stuff like this for a reason, and it's like, what? This kind of don't add up. Like, what's really going on?
So you're saying
really gotta ask yourself, like, what's really going on?
Is that what you're alluding to? That you think this is a theater?
Yeah, they're putting Hollywood to reality now. Okay. They're putting the entertainment to reality. Like, I know we was listening to that video earlier. With I think somebody said like, oh, they brought us the housewives
of DC.
The politicians
of DC. No, the housemen of DC.
Yeah, I was like, wow, that's
yeah, we're gonna get into the captions, but I do want to say because you're saying that it's a theater, but I agree with Ryan in the comments because I don't believe all the time that conspiracy. Like I think a lot of things that we are seeing is just the fall of Babylon, as it's written, as it's prophesied. I think this is that time where, like, if this goes in the direction that this Facebook lady, and we're going to read you guys the post and show it on the screen because it was like, she is absolutely right. And it's going to be Elon that could potentially take this whole thing and drag it to where it hits a lot of that people that were on that E-list that's being talked about. That's the underlying narrative that a lot of people may not be aware of. I don't know if y'all remember that Epstein case stuff. I don't know if y'all looked at that document, but there were certain big politicians on that document. There were big celebrities on that document. And so in one swoop, you can see how the West can crash if this actually happens the way Elon thinks he's about to do. If that actually happens, then everybody's going to look at the West. They're already looking at the West. By the way, I don't know if y'all knew this. There was a study that just came out that said the top 3 countries in the world that are most disliked. Can anybody guess the countries? Leave a comment in the chat if you can guess. The top 3 nations on planet Earth that are most disliked. I'll tell you. They're China, America, and Russia. Okay? China, America, and Russia. And so imagine if this goes the way that Elon wants to drag it out to be, what he's saying on X, Twitter, then the fall of America can literally happen in 1 hour because the rest of the world is going to look at that and be like, oh, what is really going on over there? Obviously, all of us as Americans, we already knew, but think the world doesn't necessarily know that. People don't really know everything that really happens up in Hollywood and all these politicians and all these cases. So what Elon just did, he's basically saying, look, since y'all didn't make it go my way, I'm about to expose it. And like we said, we don't take no sides in this, but just giving you the facts and what is being presented. So without further ado, let's watch the wonderful
but I'll say this before we
Houseman of DC.
get too much into it. It's Pride Month, and these men filled with pride. So you got to think about that too. Recently, there's a lot of news channels that's out that say, "Oh, you know, this man is the most powerful man in the world." Talking about Donald Trump, right? So Elon, growing up, if you looked at the interview that someone did with the nanny or the babysitter that used to babysit him, you'll understand what I'm saying. But basically, Elon been powerful all his life, and he was been told that he was going to be powerful all his life. So him getting shut down in a way that causes tension.
That causes pride.
So that's how I'm seeing it in a way. Like, dang, these two men are, tripping for, like, it's prophecy in a way. If you got to see it, you got to see the bigger picture. So both of these men wants to be the most powerful man in the world, and pride comes before a fall. That's what you have to realize. So we're about to play this video real quick, and we're going to react together. So leave your comments below. Make sure you like the video. And yeah, let's get into it.
So a big, beautiful truce could be coming today as President Trump and Elon Musk will reportedly speak over the phone to hash out the differences that spilled over into the public.
Lucas Tomlinson is live in Washington. Got the details for us. Hey, Lucas.
Well, good morning, and good morning, guys. Peace talks are in the offering today after President Trump and Elon Musk appeared headed for divorce after a bitter feud over X yesterday. The first shots were fired in the Oval Office.
Elon and I had a great relationship. I don't know who will anymore, but I'm very disappointed in him, and I've helped Elon. And I'll be honest, I think he misses the place. I think he got out there, and all of a sudden he wasn't in this beautiful Oval Office.
White House aides rushed to schedule a call today with the world's richest man to broker a peace deal. Both Trump and Musk were textually active Thursday afternoon, hurling invectives at one another. Here's Trump posting, Elon was wearing thin, asked him to leave. I took away his EV mandate that forced everyone to buy electric cars that nobody else wanted, that he knew for months I was going to do, and he just went crazy. Musk responding, without me, Trump would have lost the election. Dems would control the House, and Republicans would be 51-49 in the Senate. Musk threatened to scrap his spacecraft used to carry astronauts into orbit, saying, in light of the president's statement about cancellation of my government contracts, SpaceX will begin decommissioning its Dragon spacecraft immediately. And later, Musk walked it back. Okay, we won't decommission Dragon. Here's Elon at 3:10. Time to drop the really big bomb. Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. That is the real reason they have not been made public. Have a nice day, DJT. Many Democrats.
He said, have a nice day. He said, I'm going to walk out the room and let you sit with that. Because that is that. He said, that's all I'm going to say. But, he wasn't saying this 6 months ago when it was January. Everybody was all happy, right? Everything was all good. But this time he's like, no, it's time to drop the bomb. But it's like, bro, if you already knew that, why, it's just interesting. Yeah. But he's, when things don't get his way. And emergency breaking news. Y'all remember that video that I did about the travel ban yesterday? If not, you should go look at it. But guess what? South Africa has just been added to the list.
I mean, countries. Most popular African countries that has international flights will probably be banned pretty soon. So if you are listening to this, you better get your things in order, because a lot of things is happening right now to distract you to what's really going to keep you stagnant and keep you in that crazy place of a circus. But back to the video. What stood out to me
I think you
um,
should leave that.
was um, the guy was talking about divorce. Oh, they're divorced, so that brings back like marriage, right? And then he said something about the spacecraft dragon. Oh, we was going to take it down, but we're going to keep it up. Stuff like that makes me think like, huh? They're trying to tell some people some things, but the only people that's really going to know is the ones that are going to listen. So those are the two things that stuck out to me when he was talking about. What about you?
I thought it was funny how he just left it on the desk. He said, "Have a great day." That was his attempt at a power move, and it may come to pass because at the end of the day, Democrats have been wanting. They did not want him in office in the first place, but Democrats have been deeply wanting to drag that man out of office. And me personally, y'all know we live in Mauritius, Africa. We don't really care, to be quite honest. But if Elon is, let's put it like this, if Elon has the ability to do what he just put out and said he's going to do, and the Democrats back him, and whoever has the power to release those files, oh, just know that everyone's going to look at those with a blue passport in a different way. Just know that. Because those names on those, and when I tell you I read that file, I was like, oh, this is crazy. they gon' they gonna look at America like, and again, most Americans know who is on those files if you read the files. But there's some prominent people on those lists. Let's not forget they also got that P. Diddy case going on now. So it's also people that he know about that's on like everything's coming to a head. Judgment is at the door. It's people who have clearly been in the wrong and just blatantly continue to lie, just can blatantly continue to abuse, it's just coming out. It just is what it is because at the end of the day, the Most High can use a rock to judge you. It doesn't matter if it's Elon, doesn't matter if it's a butterfly. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, he can use whatever vessel he wants to use. And guess what? They could both be vessels of dishonor at the same time because the Most High is the ultimate winner of the game. He is the ultimate authority.
So just know this has to happen. This it's happening for a reason, but you just gotta choose a side because this is just a big distraction. I'm gonna keep saying it. Like you really gotta ask like what is really going on. Although this is going on over here to the left, what's really going on over here to the right? That's how you gotta play it because this is about to be going on the whole weekend. I don't know what's supposed to be happening, but I'm gonna be sitting back trying to figure out what's really happening in uh spiritual really.
Yeah, and I was gonna say, I know you see maybe you think it may be different, but I think this is the moment that changes everything in the next 6 to 12 months, even years to come. I'll be quite honest. Because you gotta look at the whole landscape again. They still have the P. Diddy case out. Remember, all of these things are connected.
Yeah. So it gets down to a point where it's like people have to choose. Like they're telling you the truth. They're bringing out this truth for a reason.
Yeah.
No matter how it goes, like the truth is there. It's right in front of people's face.
Yeah.
But it's really up to you to choose. Like, dang, are you gonna be living under this society in this environment? Because when it comes down to it, you're gonna be a product of your environment. Just how my wife was just saying, like when people come outside of America and still have that blue passport, if they don't know you, if you don't know how to move around, if you don't know how to blend in, just earlier we were going on the walk, and I literally brought some shoes from this guy a couple weeks ago. I brought some shoes for my sons and myself. You know, I feel like I have a unique look, right? I'm thinking he would know me, but I was like, hey, how you doing? He was like, oh, I'm good. I'm like, yeah, the shoes are pretty good. I still have them on. He was like, oh, who are you? And I'm like, hey, you don't know? But as soon as we said American, he realized like, oh, it's you with the children. Oh, yeah. And I'm like, he's like, yeah, you blend in well. I thought you was a local. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's good. So people have to realize like it gets down to moving around. You can't be out here loud like, hey, I'm an American, because this is gonna cause a lot of problems pretty soon. If you got that blue passport and you out here and you don't know how to move around quietly, it's gonna look. It's things are heating up.
Well, and like you said, the EU also, America can't even get into the EU visa free anymore. And so just know that anyone that makes you assume that everything's normal, they would just have to be borderline insane at this rate. Just to be quite honest, we don't even have to take it to 2024. We can just look at the top of 2025 when this happens. And if you think this is just like normal times, then I really don't know what to tell you. Because in my childhood, I don't know if y'all were not paying attention when y'all were children or what was going on, but in childhood, when you would see politicians, it was not reality TV.
Yeah, it was not.
This is White House reality TV.
The new news is on X, on Twitter. So just get a Twitter account. You'd probably be ahead of a lot of people.
It was not reality TV. It was like people that had some decorum, people that were actually talking about policy, or they would at least present it in that way. That was before everybody knew about the files. That was before everybody knew about a lot of this stuff that's coming out. But ever since about 2019, stuff has been a little wild, not to mention, remember the plantations that had just completely caught fire? And it's like one of those things. And it's to the point where you can only speak to people who are in reality. Because understand, people that are not in reality and cannot see these things with the spirit of strength and discernment, it's not going to fare well for them.
Yeah,
just like Elon and Trump, they were not in reality. Both of them were not in reality, if we're honest. And look at how explosive it's becoming.
Yeah,
where it's going to cause havoc throughout. It's gonna cause havoc throughout the entire world. The entire world's gonna look at this moment because you have to ask: do you see any other European nations doing this? America's a European nation. Let's be honest. Do you see the UK doing that? Germany's not doing that. Switzerland's not doing that. Norway's not doing that. African nations don't do it either. Nobody does this except America. And it didn't used to be like that, but it's on the decline.
Exactly. And you got to think, reports been out saying Elon is the most richest man in the world, and then Donald Trump is the most powerful man in the world. So, everybody been played at the end of the day. You just got to know who is in control. Leave a comment below if you know who's in control, and we're going to get back to this video real quick. Let us know. Who do you believe is in control?
Pounds.
This divorce was predictable, if not inevitable, because it was always American convenience.
The Dems have been dumping all over Musk and vandalizing Teslas or whatever, and suddenly that might be more back into it.
The roots of the feud are over Trump's big, beautiful bill. Musk says it adds trillions to the debt. Republicans say it includes trillions in savings.
I've had a lot of love and respect for you for what you've done for this country over the last several months. But you've lost your damn mind.
I tried very hard to speak with Elon over and over, and to talk with him about what I believe are misconceptions he has about this bill and what it is.
There are no plans for President Trump to launch airstrikes against Tesla dealerships nationwide, something you perhaps confirm with our defense secretary later in the show.
Right. So, Lucas, you're shooting down the rumors that we'll have airstrikes on Teslas. You're shooting this out?
That's correct.
Okay.
Look, it's always a laugh, guys. It's always a laugh. You always gotta. They always laugh about this stuff. Like, oh, Trump's not going to send airstrikes on Tesla. And it's like,
because it's funny. I'll be on there laughing too. It's hilarious. What? Man. You gotta go to the Twitter because now we need to see the actual Twitter posts that were just really interesting. There's some videos on the actual posts that were on Twitter that they were just going back and forth, and this is why they're calling it what do they call it? Somebody on Facebook said it, the reality husbands of the White House, or reality men of the White House, whatever. Yeah. And the Twitter posts were just a hot mess. We can read them. We have them here until you find them on screen. So somebody that is on Facebook, Glee Violet, she has this post that she's updating as this thing happens. So she's probably updating it later today, okay? But we're going to go in chronological order. on what is being said from Twitter, X, okay? This started out being entertaining. Now, I want y'all to listen very closely to this. Hit like and share this video because she's giving a very stern warning. And she's like an elderly white woman in America. This started out being very entertaining, but now it's deadly serious. Musk has the information to destroy Trump's presidency. Musk already dropped the bomb that Trump is in the Epstein files. Trump has threatened to cut Musk's Musk's government contracts, and Musk posted he is already decommissioning his spacecraft. Steve Bannon has claimed in that he strongly believes Musk is an illegal alien and should be deported. I'm updating this post as things escalate. Now we're going to go to the next section. Previously posted. It's officially over. Elon and I had a great relationship, Trump reports. I don't know if we will anymore. Making popcorn. It's like a tennis match today. Trump talking to reporters in the Oval Office and Musk answering in real time on X. Some highlights and lows. Trump, he said the most beautiful things about me, and he hasn't said bad about me personally, but I'm sure that'll be next. That's what Trump said. Now let's get back to what Elon Musk said. Now he's on Twitter. Without me, Trump would have lost the election. Dems would control the House, and the Republicans would be 51-49 in the Senate. Such gratitude. Trump says, I'm very disappointed in Elon. I've helped Elon a lot. Musk has been ranting for 3 days now about Trump's big, beautiful budget bill. Trump says he knows why. Then Trump, again, he says, Elon's upset because we took the EV mandate, which has a lot of money for electric vehicles, okay? So this was a mandate that was essentially going to make people buy electric vehicles that would have hopefully boosted Tesla's stock because Americans were not very happy about Tesla. For the past few months, if you pay attention to investing in stock, his stock was horribly dropping.
Yeah, yesterday the stock dropped like billions of dollars.
Yeah, he's losing lots. He's losing big. And, it's his attitude. His attitude is crap. This bill was never shown to me, not even once, and was passed in the dead of the night so fast that almost no one in Congress could even read it. Musk continues, whatever, keep the EV solar incentive cuts in the bill, even though no oil and gas subsidies are touched. Very unfair. But ditch the mounting of disgusting pork in the bill. He's just like, he comes across as very prideful. Trump told the reporters today that everything's fine and praised the work Musk did. He said it will be back and forth, I think. But I'll be honest, I think he misses the place. He's not the first. People leave my administration, they love us, and then at some point they miss it so badly. Some of them embrace it. Some of them actually become hostile. I don't know what it is. It's sort of a Trump derangement syndrome, I guess they call it. Okay, so Donald Trump is kind of poking fun at this whole situation, and I think he has to do that because at the end of the day, if these files come out like that, okay, it's not just him that's screwed. Let's just put it like that. It's not just him. On X, Elon Musk has been digging up old posts of Trump criticizing past federal budgets. I couldn't agree more. Musk wrote as a caption for the 2012 post from Trump that reads, "Deficits not allowed." Musk later doubled down on this post. Where's the man who wrote these words? Was he replaced by a body double? A body double, gee, seems to be a lot of those going around these days. So, we're continuing. This feud has been going on, spanning multiple days, okay? So let's continue here. Leave your comments in the chat. Let us know what you think about this back and forth. This is all on Twitter. This can all be found on X, okay? Now, Trump says the easiest way, so this is where he starts kind of threatening Elon Musk. The easiest way to save money in our budget, billions and billions, is to terminate Elon's government subsidies and contracts. I was always surprised Biden didn't do that. And Musk responded on X with laughing emojis. This just keeps getting better and better. Go ahead, make my day. Musk has just unfollowed Stephen Miller. Miller's wife works with Musk in communications and left the White House with Musk to be wherever he works. This calls for a bowl of popcorn on its own. That's a very interesting little tidbit. Whoa, now Musk is getting personal. It's time to drop the really big bomb. So immediately after, President Donald Trump announced that he may be cutting off his loads of government contracts for Tesla and SpaceX and all them folks. The moment he says that really triggers Elon, okay? That triggers Elon to the point he's like, look, now you're messing with my money and my company is already tanking. So it's time to drop the really big bomb. This is what Musk is saying. It's in the Epstein files. That's the real reason they have not been made public. Have a nice day. DJT. Donald J. Trump. I was about to say, I don't know what the middle name stands for. What do you think of all this? This is a lot. This is a lot, y'all. This is a lot. We're not even all the way through the post. I'm just like, let's pause for a second and debrief for a moment, okay? Because essentially the root of this whole issue is coins, money. Elon saw Tesla tanking. Stuff isn't going his way. He's like, I'm about to lose money. He wanted President Donald Trump to go ahead and make that EV solar policy where they had to buy electric cars.
Yeah,
President Donald Trump said, that's not wise, but I like my big, beautiful spending bill. He's critiquing the bill. And so it's like that struck a chord in Elon. And it's so crazy. This guy is not even American. He's South African apartheid. You know, so just there's just that. Like, I don't even know how this guy can get in the White House. And that's why I'm like, it's just an atrocity, to be honest, because I always thought growing up that foreigners could not even be near the White House, right? But when you have a society that's declining, then they're like, well, just bring anybody in as long as they're white.
Yeah, well,
no matter where they're from.
It definitely is a comedy show. But I think Elon Musk got in there because he was donating to the campaign. So like
bribery.
Yeah. Well, you can say that, but
I'll use a different word.
You know how they
generosity.
So it really just gets down to you have to realize which side are they on. Although that they seem divided, and this is a question for the chat for whoever's viewing. The 19 people here. Make sure you like the video also. This is a question for you. Is Trump and Elon Musk divided? Is one good and one bad? Or is both of them on a good side, or is both of them on a bad side? That's how you got to think about it. Although that they seem divided, they still on the same side. So they basically plan in everybody's face. No matter what is going on, which side are you going to be on? Because it just gets down to that. And what's happening right now, they just put in all the volume in the stocks, to be honest. Like
I think they're actually divided.
Probably the stock market is probably about to go crazy before the end of this day. Because every time Trump says something about anything, something happens. So it's just really like it's a big show. It's a big game to them. But at the end of the day, you are living in reality, and eventually this is going to affect you. So you gotta make a plan. You gotta realize, like, man, this stuff is about to get even worse. By the end of this year, you better be invested in the right things. You better be the right thing is investing in yourself and your mind and your spirit and the Most High. But things are going to get shaken up. Like, if this is happening right now, like this just happened in the last 48 hours. Like, somebody said this against, yeah, somebody said this against the United States president.
Yeah,
it's like it makes it seem like it's normal. Is this normal? Like, it's not normal. This is just a big show. That's why I say Hollywood is in reality now. Like, really, and everybody's just egging on to it. So it's just like, dang, like, what's really, really, really going on?
I think it's real. I understand what you're saying. I do think it's real. I think it gets to a point, especially when we look at Revelations 12 and 18. You can only fake it for so long at the end of the day. The word still stands, a house divided cannot stand. And remember, a lot of us just think all white people are all one, and that's just not the reality. Trump is German. Elon Musk, he's from wherever.
Trump is a knight.
Elon Musk is from wherever. You have the Great British Crown. You have people from Switzerland. You have people from Sweden. You have people from France. You have people from Germany. And so there's a lot of different players. And as we know, America is already a mixed up pot of just lots of different people. And so you have to think. And by the way, they had just announced the arrest of a Chinese person for entering illegal pathogens into the U.S. And so you have a lot of different things here at play. You have even Russians that are at play. That again, they look like Americans basically, and if they've been practicing and they sound like Americans, people would just never know that. And so there's a lot of things that are going on here. If we just remember with Kamala Harris and Biden, just a few months ago to last year, everybody was like, geez, that's a coup. But literally, Elon Musk has already said in public, which tells us he's not afraid, and he must have somebody back, clearly on the security front, because he just said in public, like nobody has ever been able to do this previously. This is why it's so weird. He just said that he is calling for people to impeach Trump. Isn't that treason? And this is a foreign man in the United States. This man is not even American. And so if you're like, well, everything's fine, I'm not going to pay it, like this is the time to pay attention very closely and see, okay, what is actually going to be happening here? Because at the end of the day, the prophecy still has to stand.
Exactly.
The collapse of the West is going to happen, and this could be that moment to catapult it like a domino effect. It's looking like it's going to be a domino effect. Like we were reading that post where she said it was entertaining at first, but if he takes this to where he says he's taking it, this is going to be the end of what people would view as America. Not that it doesn't exist, but people are deeply going to look at America differently if certain files come out. Already they're looking at it differently because it looks like, the White House reality TV show. Again, no other governments on earth do this. It's only in America. And, Elon Musk, again, he's coming out in public saying that he should be impeached and that J.D. Vance should replace him. So, it's very weird.
Yeah,
y'all let me know last time in history y'all saw something happen like that in America. I don't know. Maybe we grew up in different Americas, but the America I grew up in, they didn't do stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I come from a military family. Like they, people in the government and they have a level of decorum and honor and respect, and we just don't see that right now in the White House.
Yeah. The most important part, Most High is in charge. So what's happening right now is happening for a reason. And we just got to be a step ahead, 2 steps ahead. So we know that prophecy is going to be unfolding. And how is this playing into prophecy? That's what you really got to ask yourself. Like, how is this playing into prophecy?
Yeah.
And they say that the thing with me, like, it's the month of June, and they say it's Pride Month. So it's just like, why is this stuff happening like at the beginning of June?
And I just love how Americans respond to this. I'm looking at these comments on Facebook. Somebody says, that's awesome. I wonder how much of our private information Elon's hackers stole from our system while they were destroying the government. That was just like, that's why it's so weird. Like, why would they even put that man in there? He literally walks off or gets fired, whatever, after 6 months. Isn't that like the biggest security threat? Like, I don't even know what to say anymore, but I'm going to keep reading these comments on this post. Somebody said, I predicted this even during the campaign. Elon bought the election and Trump knows he owes him big time. Give me some popcorn. This is what Americans are saying right now, y'all. And y'all know more white Americans than ever before, even more than Black Americans, are leaving America. And with this popping off, the rest of our America is going to be like, all right, I'm going back to Spain, Portugal, Germany, Switzerland. I had a great time here. It was fantastic the last 100 years whenever their families immigrated. But at the end of the day, nobody wants to be in a society that functions like that.
Yeah.
Somebody said, oh, maybe I was right and Muskrat will do something so evil that it takes him down. Muskrat isn't worried. He is rich as dirt, and he don't care about gossip that much either when it comes to getting dirty. I think Muskrat can win because he knows all the dirt on everyone and holds none. It's just like these comments are off the chain. And, we're just in the brunt of it. Like, it's heating up. We're just a couple of days in.
Yeah, the day just started over there, too. I know it's evening for us, but I know the day just started over there.
Yeah. One of our subscribers, Roderick, that's biblical. Every people will return to their own land. Exactly. That's why it was like, it was basically this year, or maybe even last year, 2024, 2025. It was so interesting to see the studies that white Americans are literally like looking like, okay, it's time for me to leave. I'm going to Ireland. I'm going to Portugal. I'm going back to Great Britain. I'm going to Germany. I'm going to Switzerland. I'm going to New Zealand. Those are like the top places. Some are even going to Costa Rica. And so it's like everybody at one time is waking up and saying, okay, the blindfold is off now. Everybody can see America for what it is. Now let's proceed, because we know things are already changing in Africa. We know things are changing in Europe, where it's like Americans can't even get into so many countries visa free anymore. Like that tells you right there that people just don't have that respect that they used to hold for America. And last year when we were talking about these topics, it was, Biden was falling down the steps and all of these things. But this is actually much worse. We thought it was pretty bad. They had this guy in there. He's obviously too old. He had dementia and all of these different things, and he may have been sick. But I mean, this is much worse. This is like a crisis. And the news, like you said, they're making fun of it. I just think people are looking at this right now, different, places, and they're just like, it's a joke. They're just not looking at America like, oh, that's the place to look up to. Absolutely not anymore. With them doing this on an international stage, they couldn't just have just an ounce of self-control to do this behind closed doors. But it shows the degeneration of a society, of that specific society.
Yeah, it's wild. Like it's so much going on right now, and this is what the news want to talk about. As well,
they have to. I mean, think about it. This is a crisis.
But they can. I don't know.
This is a
safety what's going on in Russia and Ukraine, China, all the. You know me. I be looking at stuff like that where it's like, dang, it's really happening. The earthquakes, the volcanoes, stuff is really happening, and this is a big distraction. That's what I say.
This is a big reality hitting. Like, America, after this moment, today, June 6, 2025, does not return to what it was. That's just the reality of it. Because, again, when you have somebody foreign that's in there, they used to not even let these people even get that close to the White House, first of all. But when you have somebody that's clearly of a different government, clearly of BRICS, which I thought Western society was like, oh, we're going to sanction the BRICS countries. And then as long as they got a white face, it's cool. Now they're learning, oh, white supremacy doesn't get you very far because it's going to implode on your own head now. All that white supremacy clearly didn't really help. That was not the savior. White supremacy was not the savior of the Most High. The proper thing to do would have been to repent for all of the sins America has piled, for killing millions and millions of natives, enslaving millions and millions of Africans. And then they continued through their various redlining laws, through their various Jim Crow, through their various science experiments, and it's just all coming to a head. And so it's like, well, you just got to decide if you want to continue to live in that society.
Yeah, just like choose this day. That's just what it is. Like, it's wild. Like people gotta realize, like, man, it's Hasatan or the Most High. Like, if it's true, righteous people is going to seek him, things are going to change. But it's a lot of people that's just going to not do that. And this is a clear sign, I would say.
Now, this is the thing.
A lot of people that's just caught up in the craziness.
Is this the thing you were talking about? You're saying it's a distraction. Somebody says in one of the comments, this is a distraction to keep you from focusing on Peter Thiel as the mastermind behind the data theft of millions of records. I think this came as a surprise to Musk that he is the fall guy for that. He was never very smart. Is that what you mean? This is a distraction?
I ain't never heard that, but I mean, it doesn't matter. Like, when I say distraction, I'm talking spiritually, biblically, prophecy. It's going to be all this stuff happening. All these distractions around the world that's going to be happening. But your real focus should be in the word of the Most High. Your real focus should be seeking the Most High. Because this is just going to get you off the game. Like, this is going to get you not into the kingdom. You get what I'm saying? Like, you really have to focus on the Most High. That's the most important thing. Seek the Most High. Find peace. Find righteousness. Live righteously. Be obedient. You get what I'm saying? What's the most important things that you need to do to grow and go to the next level and really be sustainable? Like, what is your end goal?
Wow.
Because this is just gonna keep going. It's gonna be bigger distractions than this. Something bigger is gonna happen than this. Just like we said a couple months ago. Oh, this is a distraction, and then here we go again. That's how I'm seeing it. It's a big circle that's happening. It's just a big distraction that's gonna keep happening, keep happening, keep happening, keep happening, keep happening, keep happening, keep happening. I keep going on and on. That's how it's gonna be.
They gotta hop off.
But what is your foundation? Where's your focus? Where's your heart at? That's just what it is. Like, that's just what it is. And the people that understand and know, but the people that don't and just caught up in all this stuff, it's gonna look. If it's not this, it's gonna be. I think it's like the NBA. I think I saw something with the NBA or something like that. You know, I know some memories on my page, some track season up. It's just so much distractions that's happening where it's like, dang, this happening, it happens every year. But you gotta realize what season we're in too. It's about to be a feast day pretty soon, the next month or so. So you gotta realize, hey, this is about to be harvest time. But hey, it's really the viewer's choice. And I'm not saying the viewers on here, but it's really people's choice. That's what it's coming down to. Who are you going to choose? That's what it's really coming down to. Who are you going to choose? Shalom, shalom, fast nickel.
Yeah, I think. I mean, I'm kind of speechless.
You're speechless.
For sure, it's like prophecy is taking effect. You have to be aware and discerning. I think there is also a level of, the spirit. We have watchmen that watch and discern the things that are happening so that we know what's happening according to prophecy. So it depends on who you are as a person and where you are at in your relationship with the Most High, because some people have been called as watchmen to discern and report these things so that the nations and the people can wake up, because we also have to understand when we're talking about faith and all these things, faith is not just an American construct. It's actually not an American construct. It's a Hebrew construct. It's a African construct, actually. That's what faith is, to be quite honest. And so when we look at these things, it's not just about America. It's about humanity, because understand, it's not just Americans that have been duped. It's the entire world. It's not just Americans, Black Americans, that were put into slavery and Native Americans. It was the entire world. We learned that more as we traveled. Before we had even come to East Africa, we had no idea about the East African Arab slave trade, because they teach so much about the transatlantic one. Before we came to Mauritius, we had no idea about the slave trade that took place here. And it's like, oh snap, this same system has done these things across the world. Like, okay. And so the whole world has been duped. The whole world is seeing these things. The whole world needs to see what reality is. And they're going to continue to see it. They're going to continue to see what's going on. And yeah, like Fast Nickel said, and like you were saying, you have to dig and see what the real narrative is. A lot of people are also talking about this data center. My thing is, like, America was already, had lots of data on Americans. I don't think that's anything new unless people just haven't been aware. America's been keeping data on Americans.
Yeah.
That's not necessarily new, but now they're saying they don't like that it's in Elon Musk's hands, maybe, or something like that.
It don't really matter to me. It's just like, man, you gotta know who you covered by. Who are you really covered by? That's just what it is. Do you really believe too? Like, that's what it is too. Like, if you really believe, you'll be moving. You'll be out of that place, out of that environment, and the Most High will make a way, no matter where you are.
Yeah, he makes more than a way, for real. He makes more than a way. When Abraham came out, he didn't have the bare minimum. He had more than enough. He had way more than what he needed coming out.
So what's happening? We know it's a distraction. You better have your plan for the next when the famine really hit, although and what gets me is when they're talking about, oh, they were talking about just a couple months ago, 6 months ago, they seemed like a happy married couple, right? And
Oh God.
but it's very spiritual though. Now they're saying a divorce now, right? And when you're really thinking about it biblically, like, you know, that's a covenant. You get what I'm saying? Like, they're telling you that you probably need to listen and realize that they're giving you hints of, hey, this is a covenant. The Most High made a covenant with His people. They're talking about Elon Musk and his spaceship, the Dragon or something like that. So when I hear stuff like that, it's like, like they're telling people the truth, but people just got to really have those discerning eyes and ears to realize what is what is really happening. Like, they're telling you, hey, covenant, covenant, covenant.
What do you
But
mean when
it's
you
like,
say that? You keep saying covenant. What do you mean?
like if you know the word, you know what I mean. I shouldn't have to break it down. That's just what it is.
Are you
We
saying
know
that? Go ahead.
we know that the Most High made a covenant with us. We broke it, made another covenant with us. You get what I'm saying? It's getting down to that time. It's the narrow path is getting more smaller, and you got to realize that, look, the marriage is about to be happening pretty soon. But you gotta have a plan. They're hinting, hey, marriage, divorce, covenant, dragon, and I'm like, huh? What? What are they talking about? When time and then they saying this is Pride Month and stuff like this, and maybe that's just me. Pride Month, and they saying two men. I get that they joking and stuff about Pride Month and them being married and stuff, but it's more it's more spiritual to me.
Yeah, y'all, it's a lot. It's like there's just a lot going on. It's a lot. But it is what it is on this June 6th, 2025. It's gonna be interesting to see what happens in the next few weeks and next few months. And like Dr. Biz 1958 says, there's a scripture that states there would be a dragon with many heads, getting angry, full of confusion and evil deeds between the leaders of government operations. Wow. Yeah, that could literally be it. And it's going to confuse them because, again, Joel 3 still has to take place. A lot of people, and again, remember what's happening in Africa right now at these times, too. Captain Ibrahim Traore, the Sahel Alliance, this renaissance, and the West thinks that they're going to divert that and stop that. But we've always said they're not going to be able to. There's going to be too much chaos happening in Western society. They're not going to be able to stretch their hands out into that many things. Africa will rise as the West falls. It just is what it is. Anybody can see it. A blind man can see it. My grandpa used to say that. He used to say that even a blind man can see it. I see, says the blind man. That's what he would say. And it's literally that. Like, I see, says the blind man. Everybody can see it. It doesn't even matter if you speak a different language and you're in a whole different nation. Everybody can see the writing on the wall. But it's going. I don't think we can even say what's going to happen in the next 3 months because it just be so off the charts that it's just like, alrighty then.
Yeah. Alrighty then.
And you just keep it moving. Trust the Most High, but definitely leave the West. I mean, a house divided cannot stand. At the end of the day, a house divided cannot stand. All is not well in love and war. All is not well. It is like trouble in paradise. And it's a security threat. That's why President Donald Trump said he was going to meet with the Fraternity of Police in D.C. So y'all think he's meeting with the Fraternity of Peace in D.C. just to have coffee? Or is this a security threat? Is he meeting just to meet him at the cafe and say, hey, good boys, y'all doing a good... Like, he's meeting with them, the Fraternity Order of Police in D.C., because it's a security threat. And when we hear security threat, we need to be knowledgeable and understand that if DC says that there's a threat like that, that means there's a threat on the nation. Because again, Elon Musk publicly, again, he didn't say this quietly. He didn't, I don't know what else he could say, but publicly saying he wants to get President Donald Trump out, I'm like, is that legal to say that when you were just in the White House 20 or not 24 hours ago, but just last month? Like, can you actually say that? Or are you backed by people in the police? Like, who are you backed by? What's really happening?
That's why I said at the beginning of the video, like, this stuff just don't make sense. Like, it just really don't make sense. I thought if you work for a government, you have like NDAs and stuff like that.
We got NDAs for our business.
And soon as he get out of soon as he step out the Oval Office, soon as he step out the White House, he like, hey, these fools in here doing this. These people in here crazy. Look at this. They told me this. They told me that. I found out this. I found out that. It's like, huh?
Right. Next he's gonna be a
right? Look, it's gonna be some pictures, and you gotta think. Look, it's super deep though.
Oh,
it's
man.
really deep because just the last week or two, Trump was introducing Elon Musk to the royal family. It's just like this stuff just don't make sense. So that's why I'm like, you have to really step back and look at the bigger picture. Because why he was very excited to introduce Elon Musk to the royal family.
I don't understand. I'll be
honest. What was it? The royal family? The Qatar.
The Qatar royal family.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Trump has signed that deal with. Qatar.
Yeah, it's like
for the airplanes.
Yeah, and all of a sudden
the royal fleet or something.
Something like I don't know. But it's deep, so that's why I say you gotta have a plan. Yes, fast nickel. Look, if you learn how to trade by crypto, like really protect your investments. You gotta know like what's going to be happening in the next 5 years. In the next 5 years, what is really about to be happening? What is your plan? I know a lot of people want to get out and stuff like that. You better have a plan. And I say, protect yourself, make sure you're good, but sooner better than later. Sooner better than later, because before countries be like Namibia and stop or I say Namibia, Tanzania. I say Namibia because visa. They say no more visa-free entry for Americans.
Right.
Tanzania saying, "Oh, the U.S. dollar, we're not going to be using it."
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And it's like, things are happening fast. No matter if you're black, it don't matter. If you got that, if you got that U.S. passport, some things is about to be changing.
Yeah,
quick. Already in Ghana, the CD is stronger than it's ever been against the U.S. dollar.
Right.
It's a lot of things that's happening that people don't realize if you're not doing the research. You get what I'm saying? Yes, AI is taking over too.
No, right. They got that front as well.
It's starting to create his own brain that we don't even know about. It's like so much stuff that's going on. Like they probably passing bills right now with AI that people are actually implanting brain chips in their brain. I just saw a post. They have a chip where it's smaller than your index finger, right? The point of your index finger that you can put in your hair.
Okay.
It's like it's a little bit bigger than a string of hair, and it's like a brain chip. And I'm like, whoa, they get very crafty with this stuff.
As in the days of Noah?
Yeah.
So shall it be in the return of the Son of Man? Because like Yahusha said, unless the times are cut short, you ain't gonna make it out of this one unless the times are cut short. All this foolishness they got up, but suppose like what you said with the AI, because you also have to think there's studies coming out that eventually they're saying that humans won't be running these governments.
Yeah.
Suppose this is that phase. This is the pre-qualification. Let's start getting some of these guys out of here. See if we can get AI to run this. Because if you think Elon Musk would not have robots running the government, just look at Tesla, who it's run by.
Exactly. Look, I'm telling you,
look at Tesla's workflow.
You better be. You really gotta have discerning eyes now, because just how Fast Nickel just said, about this Google VE. What's it called? VO3. Man, this stuff looks super real. And if people people will just go with the flow and be like, "Oh wow, look at this stuff." So I remember the other day. Remember, Donald Trump put out a message, and I was like, "Is this AI?"
Yeah,
It kind of did look like AI. It's like, okay, yeah, we better be very, very careful. We gotta realize what's happening because, as in the days of Noah, you know, these are the days that are the times that we are living in, and it's just gonna get worse. It's just gonna get worse. Like really, 10 years ago, it wasn't like this.
Right. Just 2 years ago, it wasn't like this. Shoot, 6 months ago, it wasn't like this.
Yeah. And it's moving fast. It's moving fast. So you better invest in some crypto.
Yeah. Yeah.
Invest in some Bitcoin. Look, it was I think I sent that to you, but I don't think I can play it. But they did like a chart from like 10 years ago from the S&P 500, Nasdaq, gold, and Bitcoin. And Bitcoin outperformed all of them.
Oh,
within the 10. It's like, oh, like
for sure.
Something going on. Bitcoin not going nowhere. So you better AI not going nowhere. You better figure out how to use it as a tool. It don't have to be using you.
Yeah, no, the
creator. Yeah, the creator created you, not
But most people are going to let it use them. Most people will use their creativity. You're going to see increases in early dementia. There's just so many fronts. Because at the end of the day, we have this saying in healthcare. I used to work in healthcare about 10, 11 years ago. If you don't use it, you lose it. Like if you don't use your brain, you're going to lose your brain. You're going to lose your creativity, your sanity. And that's going to be an issue because we did that reaction video where the guy from, what was it, 1984, whatever year, he was talking about, I think I'm the last generation of people who are going to be able to think freely. Most people, again, although they are not metal robots, they are walking propaganda machines.
Yeah.
And if you go against that propaganda that's embedded in them, they're like, no, you're my enemy. And so it's like you have to divest from people like that who are walking propaganda machines. Most of them are in the West. Just to be honest, most of them are in the West, and a few will increase a bit in Africa, but for the most part, Africa is not going to have that impact, not going to have that huge impact unless, I understand people say countries like South Africa and Kenya, but even to an extent, you still have the village stuff, the places that you can go in those areas, and some would be off-grid, even in small countries.
Yeah, you better realize how big this earth is.
Yeah.
You gotta realize how big this earth is because it's huge. It's huge. Even this small island that we're on, if you look at on the map, it's like, what? Why y'all on that? Who's there? You and your family? This is it looked like that's all who can fit on the island. But nah, this island's huge.
Yeah, AI is definitely, and they have these crazy AI there. Whoever owns these things, and I thought that was like infringement when you did that to somebody's personality.
What are you talking
Like they will, like they're talking about how people will use Captain Ibrahim Traore's image. I've seen them use R. Kelly's image. I've seen them use Rihanna's image, and they will make these videos. It's just the weirdest thing. It's like, I don't know if y'all saw those crazy. It was, and they became views. People will come in the comments like, yes, I knew R. Kelly got support from the prison. I'm like, y'all really think R. Kelly's sitting in prison talking about the rise of Africa? That's not what he's doing. And y'all think they're going to let him publish a song like that? I don't know if y'all seen them. They're a hot mess. I'll put it like that.
Yeah, we are living in interesting times. Interesting times, guys.
Yeah, there are interesting times. You just got to be aware of what's out there and see reality. You got to not be too much into the age of AI. You can understand what's going on. And it's like the Bible says, being in the world and not of it. You can be in the world, but not of it. You can understand these things and not be in it. And understand that what the Most High is the lead authority figure, no matter who rises in the earth, understand that. Know when to not back down. How do I want to say? Know when to divest from certain communities, from certain people. Know when to do that, because again, we are as in the days of Noah. Do you think Noah was out there partying with all the folks? No, Noah was building his ark with him and his family, and that was it. Because when you're as in that was the biggest hint that Yahusha, the Messiah, who some call Jesus Christ, that was the biggest hint that he could have left, just that one line. Because as in the days of Noah would have told you, if I look at what Noah was doing at that time, Noah was not trying to be popular. Noah was not going up and down the road doing this, doing that, speaking to the giants, speaking to this. He was not doing any of that. Noah knew that he was going to be the last generation of humanity for that particular part before the great flood came in. And so if we believe that it's as in the days of Noah, then we should be moving accordingly and saying, let me discern who and what's around me. Let me discern what I'm listening to. Let me discern everything that I hear, because it doesn't matter how much I like you, how much I've been friends with you, how much I knew you, who did. It don't matter. You had better have a heightened sense of discernment so that you can build as in the days of Noah, because as in the days of Noah, Noah was building.
Yeah.
And that's how he didn't mess up. He was obedient.
Yeah.
So while giants are mocking him, while, whoever has human hybrids out there telling him whatever they're saying, you can just imagine this man was unfazed. Not only was he unfazed, his children were unfazed. Not only were his children unfazed, the children's wives were also unfazed. The children's children, the grand. See, this is how humanity is even here today. And that obedience, like Fast Nickel said, that obedience happens a lot of the time through separation. Noah had to separate to be obedient.
Yeah.
As in the days of Noah is really the only thing we should be looking at, because that's what Yahusha said the last days we're going to be at. A lot of people see like, oh, well, the church. And Yahusha's main instruction was, as in the days of Noah, this is what it's going to be like. He didn't say, go back and open the largest church. It was as in the days of Noah, so that you would follow the steps that Noah took, and he focused on his family because he understood I'm the only remnant lineage that's out here. There's only remnant lineages out here on the earth. Understand that people don't really like this. 2/3 of the earth are not going to make it, not just 2/3 of the chosen. 2/3 of the earth are going to be hybrids. And if you think you're a hybrid and you're getting to heaven, you're going to get another shock. You're going to have another surprise. You think you can be half AI, you can be half human, and you're like, about to make it up to the kingdom. It's like, so if even Yahuwah himself won't let you, please don't think that real humans are going to let you anywhere near their circles if you're a hybrid. Please understand that. And hybrid, just like if we look at the word hybrid, let's think. Hybrid is a synonym to being lukewarm, because it's a mix of one thing and a mix of another thing. It's hot and cold. That's what hybridism is. So this is why in Revelations he says that it's better that you would just be cold. I don't want you in the middle. Like, it's better you would just be cold. Just choose hot or cold. Because when you have these cyborgs that are going to start appearing on the earth, when you have, I don't know if y'all been seeing these people in Louisiana have been talking about how they're seeing like werewolves and all this stuff. I'm like, wow, this is for real as in the days of Noah. It's crazy. I said, y'all seeing werewolves or what? And all
No, for real.
they coming in the videos,
But
the people in New Orleans like, yeah, y'all have always been here. We would always know about them. I'm like, I'm from Ohio. We ain't have stuff like that. You know? Like what?
It comes down to like, wisdom, obedience, because like they say stuff like that's out there, but do you believe? I mean, you have to believe it, because the Most High, is allowing it to be said. Like if people seeing that, that's crazy. That should tell you right there. Like, hold on, whoa, this is really something else. This is really something else. Yeah, and what you said, the 2/3. Like, think about that. This has to happen. 2/3 has to be gone. 2/3 is not going to make it. Like, that's a big thing that has to happen.
Yeah.
So it's going to be spiritually. It's going to be hybrids.
Yeah.
Like really.
And you better have to discern.
Exactly. Like, and that's what it comes down to. If you cannot discern somebody just from like being around them, looking at them, you get what I'm saying? It's not going to be good for you. It's really not, because people not going to think that they're hybrids. They're going to be like, yeah, I'm just a regular human, not realizing that although that you didn't get the AI chip on in your head or something like that, but you're still lukewarm. You're still lukewarm. So you gotta. That's why I say like you gotta really believe. You gotta be set apart, and to be set apart, you have to be separated. You gotta learn how to be separated. Like you cannot. You can't. That's just not a part of it. Like, or it is a part of it. Separation is a part of it.
You have to be.
You can't be around. Like you gotta learn how to be separate. You gotta learn how to be set apart. Like obedience is better than sacrifice.
Yeah.
Think about the trees that's obeying. Think about the flowers that's obeying. Like really, think about the birds and stuff that's obeying. Like it's only us that don't. It's only us that don't obey. Truly, 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 100% obey. But we still have to strive for that obedience. We still have to strive for it.
Yeah, I was gonna say something, I forgot it. I lost it. Oh, I was gonna say, yeah, I bet Elon Musk thought he was gung ho 100% all American. But you see, he self-destructed. Like, don't, and it's really a lesson that people can take. Clearly, President Donald Trump thought he could trust him. Clearly, Elon Musk thought he could trust him. Whatever. But when you have people, the wheats and the tares, they look alike.
Yeah.
And
you're not gonna know till it's time.
Self-destruct. Tares don't even necessarily mean to destruct. They may not even mean it. They could be just as much because I was listening to a scripture today, and 2 Kings, King Ahab thought he was going to win the war, but the Most High said, "Hey, who's going to be a lying spirit and deceive this wicked king? Because wicked people get a wicked portion from the Most High." And so he says, who's going to go be an evil spirit and go lie to King Ahab? I'm about done with him. It's about time for his judgment to come. I'm going to deceive him the way that he has deceived the people and allow his Jezebel wife to deceive people. And so people are coming to him telling him, yeah, go ahead in the war, you're going to win. And it was a lying spirit that was saying it. Yeah, you're going to win, it's going to be good. It's like no destruction's coming, and somebody else that came. Somebody else has said, hey, you're not going to win, but he was like, no, that's a lie. So it can be that serious. When you believe a lie or when you are perpetuating lies, clearly the only person you're of is your father, the devil, no matter how many hallelujahs, how many church sermons, how many lessons, how many whatever, how many people you know. But the fruit speaks for itself. Liars beget liars. Yeah. And when repentance doesn't happen, that's when that destruction, where the Most High says, actually, I'll send somebody, since you love lies so much, actually, I'll send the ultimate liar to you. Go see one of these spirits, see if they get and can go talk to you. And really, that was great, because any time at that time, King Ahab could have said, you know what, actually, my action, the way my wife has been acting, we've killed all these people and they were prophets of Yah. He could have repented right there. That was still grace. Even in judgment, Yah has grace, but he's so perfect and manifold in his wisdom that, the thing about truth, you don't have to believe it. Truth just stands.
Yeah.
It's real simple. Truth doesn't have to be argued about. Truth just exists. And like the scripture says, it may delay, but in its time, it will come back.
Exactly.
In its time.
No, you gotta realize what's really going on spiritually.
Yeah.
Like, truth is always going to stand.
Yeah. Nothing you can do about it. You better be in the truth. Shoot. Yeah. That's what you better do.
Truth over facts.
Truth over facts?
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. So
truth over everything, because we see how that's panning out for the folks in the White House right now.
Yep.
Reality has set in but we probably just had a huge national security risk. On an international global stage.
It's a big distraction that's happening right now, because Donald Trump and Elon Musk is still they're not divided. They're still on the same side. Put it like that. all the lies and stuff, all the fakeness that's happening over there, you know, is truth with them, or are they lying? Like they're still on
They
the
may
line.
not know they're lying.
Exactly. They really probably believe this is the
You'd
truth.
be shocked.
You know, I got shot at 3 times and I'm still alive. So I'm really look. Yeah, yeah. Truth always stands.
That's a scary thing. People should really fear Yah. All humans should really fear Yah, because you have to understand, if you can think you are right and be a liar and be deceived and deceive other people, that should scare you. That should make you have pause and say, before I listen to others, before I receive other people, let me be real sure that they are who they say they are. Let me be 100% double quadruple sure. Because again, we're in the last days. As in the days of Noah, this is the times we're in. And so we shouldn't expect it to be anything different. It is what it is. And the people who seek the truth and love the truth need to stand up for it.
Right? For real. For real, for real.
So yeah, guys, like, comment, share, subscribe. Definitely share this. 25 people in the room right now. Thanks for being here with us.
Yes, and thanks for liking the video. We have 29 likes and 25 people. I think it's the first time. So
they're great
I
people.
would say this is a good live. Hallelujah. All praise to the Most High.
Yeah, truth stands alone. The truth is going to stand. It's going to stand the test in the final day.
Yeah. But just make sure you have a plan, like really, 'cause things like this is going to keep happening, and you got to stay focused on your strategy that the Most High puts in your mind, your obedience, your truth. Stand on it. Seek peace. Seek wisdom. Like really, because things like this is going to keep happening. It's just going to keep happening, no matter what. But realize what's happening, like really, really what's happening behind the scenes. Like really, what's your investment? Like the investing that I always say is the best investment is in yourself, is in the research that you do.
Yeah.
Like you have to start fishing. It's time to fish. It's not time to, have somebody give you fish. It's not time to, hey, you gave me a fish last time. Can I have another one? No. Go figure out how to fish yourself. Like really. Like really. It's time, fam. It's really time. Things are getting hot in the kitchen. Although look, it's time to catch the fish, learn how to fish, and then cook the fish in the kitchen.
All right, guys. Thanks. That's it. Shalom, shalom. Thanks for coming on the live. We will see you guys in the next one. Be blessed.
Shalom, shalom. Say bye, Zah. Say bye-bye.
Oh, you're so cute, baby.
Say thank you. Say shalom. Say whoop, whoop, wow. Say yeah, yeah, yeah.